Hello everyone, and this is game number 2. I'm Madals, and this is WCS EU Challenger Qualifier game. Currently 1-0 up to one of these players. It's game number 2, so if you didn't see the first game, you should definitely go and give it a watch. It's on my YouTube channel. And spawning down in the bottom left position as the purple Terran, it is GoOdy. And his opponent up in the top right, the green Terran. He always plays in green. It is none other than No Life's RobbyG. He's, I think, a bit underrated. I don't know if it's just me and the fact that I know about him, or if he is actually getting quite well known now, but he's a GM player. He's really solid, and I'd say the big thing about RobbyG's play, we didn't really get to see it in game number 1, obviously being a proxy Rax, but the really big thing about his play is his conservation of units, specifically against Zerg. Against Zerg, he has one of the most refined builds I think I have ever seen in my life. Like, he times this +1 stim to medevac push out drop. It's actually a drop he does it with, where the medevacs will pop just as the final marine pops out to and +1 and stim will finish just as he gets over. It's crazy how refined it is. It's like to the second. But it's not the fact that it hits, it's like the earliest possible time and the most refined build possible. It's the fact that he conserves his units. Whenever he drops or things like that, he tries to get the most bang for his buck out of everything that he produces, and that makes him a really difficult foe to come up against. But we can see this game, RobbyG playing things a bit more standard. He's got his refinery coming down, he's got his barracks there. No, the refinery came out before the barracks started, so going to be a bit sooner there. Meanwhile, Proxy Scout coming down here from GoOdy, and who can blame him after the first game? Back at home, GoOdy, he's getting down his racks, he's getting down his gas. Gas came after the racks, so he's probably going into Reapers. RobbyG could just be going up for some quick factory play. If you get the gas before the barracks, then that means that you can get a factory down very quickly. RobbyG is also sending an SCV down in a weird way. Why did I call this SCV a probe? Does he look like a robot to you? No, he doesn't. He looks like he's got a disproportionately large drill. But hey, that's just what he tells all the girls. So yeah, this is now just starting to get a little bit more normal. The Reaper that probably will be coming out soon, going to be fairly normal. No, there's a second Marine though queued up, so may not actually be going into this Reaper play. GoOdy has scouted that, okay, things looking fairly normal at the moment. We could see a proxy factory. That's definitely what my money's on now. Okay, not a proxy factory. He's going to make it in his main. Now I'm really confused. He's pulled an SCV down to here. He could make a proxy starport, or he could cancel. Oh, the mind games! The mind games were good. Okay, so GoOdy came in. GoOdy was like, okay, what's going on here? He sees the factory being made. He doesn't now expect there to be a proxy. So proxy factory coming down. We're going to be getting the starport as well. RobbyG just wants these games over quickly, and who can blame him? GoOdy has a bit of a reputation, right? Especially in TvT, that he will turtle up like a little tortoise and just wait it out. And you'll get like a 2-hour-long game. You can't drop him because there'll be a wall of missile turrets around his base and stuff, and it's just a pain. So trying to end the game quick is actually probably quite a good move. The second gas has been taken. Proxy Starport Banshee is an option. The other option, of course, is a Hellion elevator play. Possibility to Hellbats are now a really big option, and that's just purely because the armory is coming down. Hidden armory too. So yeah, probably going to be Hellbat drops now. Most likely thing to be occurring. Although, having said that, there's also a tech up. He's not going to proxy Thor. Oh my god, is he going to proxy Thor? If he proxy Thors, it would be the best thing ever. Seriously, my voice goes up like 10 octaves when I get excited about stuff. There's the starport. Come on, Thor. Make a Thor. Make a Thor. Do it. Do it, RobbyG. Your armory's nearly done. Do it. Do it. Do it. Literally, everyone watching now, cross your fingers, your toes, your arms, your legs. Thor. Make a Thor. It's going to be a Thor. Every part of me. Come on. Don't disappoint now. Your armory is 3 seconds away. 2, 1, 0. Thor. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yes! Okay, so Proxy Thor coming down. This is now where things get really, really cool. And I know that was terrible casting, just staring at a factory for a while. But Proxy Thor's maybe the coolest build ever. GoOdy's just still sitting out here being like, hang on. Just gonna keep an eye out in case anything bad happens. Hellion's still sitting around here. We've got an engineering bay coming up. That's not going to help against the Thor. Hellions, not going to help against Thors. Marines, not going to help against Thors. Are we going to get the choo-choo SCV train come over? Oh, we've already got 2 here. This is good. Okay, 2 SCVs are important. Do you know why? Because that means Thor can be repaired. And the repaired Thor deals more damage Thor. And Thor. Because yes, this is going to be amazing. Seriously, even if the God of Thunder appeared in game right now, it would not be as cool as what RobbyG is doing. GoOdy. GoOdy suspects something. Look at this position. He's like, a drop's coming. A drop is definitely coming. This is the moment. What? There's a Thor there. In it comes. Damage is now being done. A Hellion goes down near instantly. This is where you're just like, WTF is going on. SCV's getting pulled. Thor still dealing good damage. A Viking is there. Going to try and deal with the medevac. Actually a good way to deal with it. But of course, the Thor just gets picked up. Drop the Thor. Drop the Thor. Okay, good. Did manage to drop the Thor. Doesn't get it taken out. But of course, the SCVs are now not in this engagement. The Thor going to get taken out. The proxy Thor didn't win the game. But there is another Thor and another medevac. Because if at first you don't succeed when proxy Thoring, you make another Thor. And drop it yet again. But there are Marines now. And there is a Viking. That makes things a tad more tough to get through, because the medevac could get focused fairly quick, and you really don't want your medevac getting focused quickly, because that's when you can end up with some very bad times. The Viking, of course, sees, hang on, 2 SCVs, medevac's going to pop out, and is potentially in a bit of problems, but once the Thor pops, it can take out that Viking fairly quick. The SCVs are going to repair it up. This medevac just does not know what to do. He's just like, do I sit still and get repaired? Do I try and escape? Who knows? Thor's about to pop. Thor is now out. The Viking taking some damage. It's going to be close. Is the medevac going to survive? No, it's not. Oh, no. The Thor. The Thor. Oh, dear. Expansion coming down back at home, though. This is all looking good. The Viking getting very, very low. Only 5 health. The tank, though, is up. And with the tank, even if this Thor came in, things probably wouldn't work out too well for it. So RobbyG now in a bit of an interesting spot. He's like, well, my tech's looking good. I've already got a Thor out, bro. But now my economy's looking a bit shabby. My opponents have that extra orbital command for a while, but somehow RobbyG is still ahead in the work account. It may have something to do with the fact that he's killed 5 SUVs himself. But remember, double muling has been going down for a while, so actually income-wise, we do know that GoOdy's been mining, well, a fair chunk more money. But that's going to level out pretty soon, and with the additional SCVs, that's going to be helpful. Thor drop does go in. Tank is dealing a nice little chunk of damage, though. Don't really want your Thor getting taken out by a tank. Should get dropped on the low ground. 2 Vikings there now. GoOdy is going full mech mode because it's GoOdy. Of course he's going full mech mode. No more Thors coming out. The SCV just repairing up pretty nicely. A tech lab being added onto the starport. Now this is a smart choice. Just is going to allow some Banshee plate to come down, a Raven plate to come down too if needed. Fairly normal stuff. A lot of Marines here for RobbyG for the time being. He's also getting out stim, so he's going infantry. Getting down the factory now. The second factory is quite interesting back at home. He could have probably just floated this one over, but doesn't want to at the moment. Instead, he's getting down a tank of his own and just going for a bit of a messed up build. But it's one of those things where transitioning out of this can be difficult. He's just trying to make use of everything he's got. Really though, he's in a good spot because work count wise, he's still ahead. He's got the 2 mules now. So while he was down muling a bit for a while, he's got his natural base expanded. And remember, GoOdy, he's double muling from his main and has been for quite a while, which economically is good times for him. He's still got a nice little bit of income. But the downside to it is just that actually he's going to get mined out really fast. He is going to be able to push this back though. Thor will die. There we go. Luckily, these 2 buildings can try and escape, but with the Vikings, they possibly would have been chased down. Back at home for GoOdy. For RobbyG rather, he's just getting up a nice defensive force. He's got to deal with quite a tank-heavy composition. Note as well, Cloak is not done for the Banshee, so while it's coming out, it can't just hide and force a scan anytime soon. But RobbyG does need to be careful. Now, in his form of being careful as well, I'm clearly very confident in being able to defend this. So I'll just make a 3rd CC. What is the worst that could happen when an army's marching towards me? Interesting expansion timing, but clearly confidence coming out from Green Terran. He's got his tank sieged up. He's got a lot of SCVs. He's pulling them as well. So this is just going to crush this force. Without the tank being able to siege, the SCVs are just going to soak up some damage. The Marines stimming, able to take out these tanks. A very nice trade. 7 workers have been killed here, but in exchange for annihilating the army. So overall in resources lost, GoOdy's lost a lot more. And no, he's only just now floating down his natural. How late is that? Very late. That's how late it is. And that means, look at this main base. This main base is getting a bit low compared to that of RobbyG's. He's got a few more minerals there, a bit more evenly mined, and that means ultimately he should be in a bit more of a comfortable spot. 3 mules now getting cooled down there just because of some banked up energy. The 3rd CC starting a bit later, which is quite a chunk later than that of RobbyG's for the time being. But RobbyG, with +1, with combat shield, with some tanks, with a good production base getting made up here, and that 3rd command center morphing into an orbital command, he should be okay. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about is where has the Banshee gone? Oh, it got killed. Okay. Banshee got killed. Next Banshee only now just getting... Sorry, there is another Banshee coming out. He just popped, literally as I said, the Banshee got killed. Going to be coming his way through the back here. No missile turrets down yet for RobbyG. That means there's one in the main, there's no one in the natural, so he would be forced to spend a scan and get some Marines there if he wants to be able to defend. But ooh, SCV's getting transferred, third base going to get taken, going to get spotted by this Banshee though as it comes over. Sensor tower and missile turret were about to get constructed there, but unfortunately won't be able to get done in time. And that means SCVs, if GoOdy pays attention, will die, but GoOdy not paying attention, Banshee just flies straight past it all and ignores the kills. Ah, no, there we go. All looking good. Okay, Banshee going to start racking up the kills. Marines getting pulled. But remember, Stim is available. Scan needs to go down. Energy is available for scan, so that's all good. Just getting pulled back. Missile turret is nearly done. That's going to be really important. Missile turret should just finish even with that focus. It doesn't. Oh, wow. That was close. 1 second in it. So, yeah. Marines now just need to spend a scan. But they don't really want to scan when the Banshees were at the edge there because they can get away. And note how low these Marines are getting. They're like one shot from a Banshee dead, which isn't great. Orbital command is now up. But remember, this hasn't floated down. So once again, RobbyG just winning the who can get stuff down quicker award in terms of expansions, which is all good. The Marines once again being forced to stim, but we're not just get one-shotted, but what they're doing is buying time for this missile turret to get completed. Because once that missile turret's done, oh, it does get the Banshee, nice control there by RobbyG, a bit of a slip up from GoOdy. But yeah, once this missile turret's up, that really shuts down that Banshee play. It's all looking safe. GoOdy, in terms of resources lost, let's take a look at that. It's relatively equal. GoOdy losing only a couple of hundred more resources, about 200, which at 16 minutes into a game isn't too much. We've got good upgrades coming down though for RobbyG. He's getting his +1 infantry armor done. He's already got +2 infantry weapons started. When we compare that to what's actually down for GoOdy, well, actually RobbyG's got the +1 mech weapons before even GoOdy has. GoOdy's getting a double mech upgrades, but they're not yet started. So that upgrade lead is going to be powerful here for RobbyG, who's going for this biomech force of marine tank with some good medevacs, very TvT-esque, and yeah, good siege up position. Medevacs can deposit marines up onto the high ground. This creates a big attack arc, and that's the important thing. If this force were to move forward, well, marines can flank, and that's going to be problematic. Great scan there, actually, from GoOdy. Means that these Marines can't chase down the orbital command. Very safe play is the thing to note there. A couple of Hellions just darting around, can come in, trying to do some damage. The scans obviously getting very important. Trying to get vision, trying to see if there's any move outs. Nothing here to defend though, and that means roasted SCVs going to be coming down. They're all lining up. That is really not what you want. You don't want them getting into such a big line. The Marines are coming over. We can see that 20 workers have now been killed. RobbyG only down by 8 workers at the moment. There's a single marauder there. We'll finish this off. And he's got this third up. So the fact that he's mining here and GoOdy's mined out at his main, look at, he might be 20 workers down, but look at how many SCVs are doing nothing at this moment in time. Income wise, RobbyG is still up. That's really important to note, that even though he's lost those SCVs, he's still got a better income due to having the third base secured. And there is no time soon that GoOdy's going to be able to secure up this third because of the positioning of this army. He can keep scanning it. He can probably try and go for it at some point, but actually, this is quite interesting. GoOdy has not a single medevac, so he can't even hellback drop on top of the tanks to try and deal with some of the damage. That means moving out would be challenging. He could try and go for the come in from multiple angles. That's really his best bet. But there's a drop in the main, and the one medevac will go down. But a good number of Marines have been deposited here. Engagement though also on its way through. The tank's got into a nice sleep position. The infantry for RobbyG is getting taken out. The tank's dealing some nice damage, but just not quite enough. This force will get annihilated, but up in the main, the orbital command will fall. Production facilities taking a lot of fire. The 2-2 upgrades about to kick in for RobbyG's infantry, and he is still taking out these units as they pop. One tank will go down. Still pulling back, still trying to be careful. We do have a nice force here. There's a tank from GoOdy right in the back, but so many Marines still in a good spot. The expansion of being taken. This one lone Marine is picking apart units as he goes. And oh, no, the tank baits forward all of these Marines and will get all of the kills. 6 kills there on that tank. Meanwhile, GoOdy, well, his economy still looking solid. Look at this. This says it all. The gas income now hugely in favor of RobbyG, because by taking out this orbital command, he stopped gas income. If you stop gas income from a Terran player who's going mech, things aren't looking good. And that's going to be a bit problematic. So, the lack of gas income is what's really hurting GoOdy. We can see he's quite starved for resources. He's down slightly in the resources, but equal on the army supply, which theoretically, if a mech player has equal army supply to that of biomech force, he should be in a better position. But GoOdy just going for it. RobbyG in the siege position though. GG, GoOdy realizes as soon as he takes that things aren't looking good. And that, of course, means RobbyG advances with a 2-0 against GoOdy with some very cool play. And remember, this game started with a Thor rush. That's a good reason to give this video a nice little like. Make sure you subscribe as well if you're watching on YouTube. New games up daily. And if you're on my Twitch, hit that follow channel button. Thanks, everyone. And if you're on Twitch, stay tuned.